We got some people giving us some props already.
Cool.
Welcome to Real Talk with Keith Smith. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us on a Friday morning in downtown Charlottesville. It's an absolute pleasure to connect with you guys through the I Love CVille Network. So much to cover on the program, including new construction data. Judah Wickhauer is the man behind the camera. My name is Jerry Miller, the stars of Real Talk with Keith Smith, one of the principals of Yes Realty Partners. They have co-founded a boutique brokerage, Yes Realty Partners, Keith and Yonna Smith, that is just doing marvelous things, absolutely marvelous things, helping buyers and sellers navigate closings and the buying and selling of real estate of all kind and all stock. If you need guidance, it's Yes Realty Partners and Keith and Yonna Smith, the trusted name in this game we call real estate. Judah Wickhauer, studio camera, and let's start with the distinguished gentleman. An opportunity to monologue on any topic he wants, which is terrifying that we give him this kind of autonomy. But it is Real Talk with Keith Smith.
Wow.
And I kid because I care. I know your monologues are excellent.
No, I was going to talk about new construction, but now since I've got carte blanche, I don't know. We might talk about something else. But let's just kick off with new construction. This is Parade of Homes weekend, the second one. Last weekend was the first weekend. This is the second weekend. This is usually a pretty exciting time of the year for the housing market, particularly in the new construction world. So if you have an opportunity, Google it. Blue Ridge Home Builders Association's Parade of Homes. They're open this weekend. There's a bunch of builders all over the place that throughout the region. So take a look at it. It's an awesome interactive map. So if you're interested in new construction, this is a good opportunity to go and do it. And I'm going to do a little bit, back in my day.
Back in when you walked to school barefoot 10 miles one way uphill in the snow.
And through a couple of bad neighborhoods.
Well, you actually did that in Brooklyn. That was before Brooklyn was Park Slope and Williamsburg and Pomp and Tony and Prestigious and Providence.
It's kind of when it had its little cool flair, right?
That was when Brooklyn was hipster and dangerous.
Oh, there was no hipster there. I can tell
it was just dangerous.
I can tell you that. There ain't no hipster. You needed to walk around a couple of blocks because you just didn't belong in that block. That's just the way life was. But back in my day, let me see, we started in the Parade of Homes in 88 and stopped out, kind of in the beginning of the time of great unpleasantness. It was a little different than it is now, right? It was actually a competition. Right, so what happened is you would put a home in there and you would get judged, and it was a big deal. These 2 weekends when we were building houses, I'd sell out my whole year. Like, just people would just come and do that. But it's changed a little bit. You don't really see that much of the competition, but we used to. Other builders from the state used to come in and judge your home.
Does it still have? I'll be very straightforward with you, okay?
No.
Do you know what I'm going to ask?
No, and the point is...
your answer might be...
I know it's no.
What's the question I was going to ask?
Does it still have the punch that it used to have? So this is what happens...
That's what I was going to ask.
This is what happens...
When we do this so long.
This is what happens.
We're literally finishing each other's sentences, which is terrifying.
That's too terrifying.
I know. But at one time...
What happens if we get a 3? Do we get a prize?
Somewhere our wives are watching, and you guys spend too much time together. At one time we were doing it 4 days a week.
We were.
During COVID and the pandemic.
We were. Yeah, that was a lot of work.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I know firsthand.
Sitting across from me or just in general?
All the above.
What a schmuck.
But the Parade of Homes at one time was...
That's the point.
It was the week.
I just set you up, but it was a thing. But the time of great unpleasantness changed all that, right? Prior to 2007, 2008, that was the beginning of the Ryans, the Stanley Martins, so forth and so on, these larger companies coming in. Prior to that, it was all small to medium-sized builders that we had here. And it was a thing. It was a big to do. Not that it isn't now, not that it isn't a lot of work, and not that this isn't a great opportunity to go out and look at new construction, particularly when we're going to look at the numbers, because some of the prices are stabilizing, pardon me, in new construction world. But it was a thing, right? It was high competition, and there was a big event, and it was, if you hit one of the awards or the tops in your price range, I can tell you we would sell out our whole year in two weekends. It's a little bit different now. It's more of like I'm gonna get myself into trouble. Thanks for setting me up, Miller. More of a pretty extensive open house.
Yeah, right.
But man, I tell you, it was real. I mean, people were competing, and they had categories.
Oh, I remember. I remember builders, some builders we work with competing.
It was
saying this is extremely important.
This was a big thing.
Why the transition? Kevin Yancey says the parade of homes has gone to the way of the open house.
So
William McChesney watching the program, newspaper, print, and radio stations watching the show. Vanessa Parkhill watching the program right now. Got folks over at City Hall watching the program as we speak.
So it was a direct result of the time of great unpleasantness. So what happened was, and the shift in the market, right?
Post great unpleasantness, the housing recession, the parade of homes
it
still had an impact.
No, not really. It started in the middle. I know, because I submitted my last house in 2010.
Okay.
Right? And in the middle of fighting and all this stuff. And it changed at that point because so many smaller builders just got out of it. But keep in mind, statistically, right? We couldn't survive. Statistically, what happened prior to 2007, 2008, we were building 2 million units, and that dropped to 300,000. So that percentage just translated here. People just couldn't do it, and because I was on the board I was on the Blue Ridge Home Builders Association's board prior to the time of great unpleasantness, and the problem was the production builders couldn't compete with our custom guys because we could always throw in something extra because our bottom line, our efficiencies allowed us to go and do that. But that's what happened, and I think I was thinking about this morning. The survivors from that time that are out there are Frank Bailiff and Southern Development.
Yeah. Frank Bailiff and Southern Development. We're talking a very, very, very good builder. Frank, you watch the program from time to time. I hope you're watching the show. I would not say, would you characterize as custom?
He started off that way. Then
now?
But he's a high bird production builder. They build very high end.
I know production. They do. I know that. Would you say custom or production for Southern?
I would probably consider it more production.
At this point.
They moved to production. In the beginning, they weren't.
Yeah.
At that point. And Craig.
Yeah.
Are really the only two, I'm talking pre-2007.
That are still in operation.
That were part of the parade, that I can recall anyway. That's part of the parade of homes. I think maybe RL Buyers still might be in the parade of homes. I haven't really took a look at it, but it's mostly been gobbled up by the big production guys. But anyway, it's a great opportunity to go and do this. A great opportunity to go take a look at it. I did a posting this morning on some data.
I saw.
I'll start off by who's not there, which is Charlottesville and Nelson. There just hasn't been enough new construction to go ahead and take a look at it. But we've been talking about this. Greene County is the rock star. The data is pointing it. It's jumped up 300. The volume of sales of units year over year has jumped up 356%. I had to double check that number because that number just was huge. But it went from 16 in 2024 to 73. But it's interesting, the median sales price dropped a little bit. And it dropped because there's more units. So Greene County, and it's hard to say this, but Greene County, even in the 450 range, is becoming more of the affordable place to
Well, and how about
go.
the news yesterday with the governor in Albemarle County?
So that's why I kind of brought it up.
I mean,
right?
I'll recap the news.
Yeah, sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is as significant
It's huge.
of economic development news that Albemarle County has experienced in an extremely long time, and we'll talk in depth and detail on the 12:30 I Love CVille show about this. Youngkin in Albemarle County yesterday, as AstraZeneca, the British pharmaceutical giant, confirmed, reiterated its investment into Albemarle. $4.5 billion to locate an operation in Rivanna Futures, Rivanna Station, northern Albemarle County, on the Greene County line. 600 extremely high-paying jobs.
Yeah, there's
600 scientists at this AstraZeneca plant, ladies and gentlemen. 3,000 construction jobs. The construction is happening like now, absolutely immediately, ladies and gentlemen. But where are these people going to live? What is the impact that this is going to have on the community? I will throw this to you, a couple other things. Youngkin said this AstraZeneca investment will be part of a new pharmaceutical pipeline or district that stretches from Rockingham County to Goochland County, while completely encompassing Albemarle County and Central Virginia. This is a significant story.
So that's kind of why I was trying to, knowing that happened yesterday and the Parade of Homes weekend and new construction. And I mean, our friends in Greene County, hold on to your socks, because that's where everybody's going to go. Shoot, it's a straight shot up north, right? It's a quick run down 29.
I don't know if the 600 scientists that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year are going to choose to live in Greene County, Keith.
I think they will, because the thing is where they're going to live.
I think they're going to choose to live in Albemarle County and
they're going to drive the prices up.
And they're going to commute to Greene.
They're going to drive the prices up.
I think what's going to happen is the middle class that otherwise was going to be considering Albemarle County is going to be buying the homes in Greene County.
So
but these 600 extremely high-paying jobs and those families are going to be living in Albemarle County.
Well, they're going to have to go somewhere. And here's the problem with Albemarle County. If you take a look at the stats, they're decreasing their new construction by percentage, and they got nothing coming in the pipeline.
Right. They're just going to take existing construction.
Well,
and then the new construction is going to go to the folks being pressed and squeezed out of Albemarle County.
Which will be Greene County. Yeah, and so Greene County is going to grow in new construction. It's very interesting. At the last Planning District Commission, which I chaired, which I had to kind of keep my mouth shut, Mike Pruitt asked the question, well, how come nobody's bringing new developments to their rezone? They're not seeing any new developments in their application pipeline, and the answer is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Too expensive. Dirt's too expensive. Too many rules and regulations.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you listen to Real Talk with Keith Smith, Mike Pruitt?
I was very proud of myself. I kept my mouth shut.
You should have said, "Listen to Real Talk."
No. I was very proud of myself. I was a chair, but I was like squirming in my seat. But you're going to see Albemarle County new construction decrease markedly and increase price markedly, right? It will go up, to your point, and that'll happen. You know, the $150,000 to $200,000 to $300,000 jobs that this is going to generate once it's built. Now, keep in mind, you know, you've got a pipeline of years before this actually gets built.
2020? No, it's being built now. It's going to open in 2029.
Well, I believe that's years, right?
Well, it's being built now.
I understand that.
Yeah,
but
open in 2029.
Yeah, so we're looking at about a 4-year trend.
Yeah.
The 3,000 construction workers and the people that are in that, they're going to be living in Greene County.
Yeah, that's now.
That's now. So
Yeah.
Greene County is going to continue to grow. It had, folks, I mean, I had to triple check this number. 356% increase in sales.
Unbelievable.
356%. So 16 to 73. And I'll bet you by the time this year rolls around, you're going to end up seeing, and that's, by the way, in detached, right? Which, by the way, 80% of the buyers, according to NAR and all this kind of great stuff, that's what buyers want. They have they only had, in 2024, they had 0 attached. They have 10 so far. So you're going to see a townhome growth in that. But hold on to your socks. Greene County is going to rock and roll, and it's going to be rocking and rolling for a long time.
Remember, Eli Lilly is investing billions into Goochland. I think that was a $5 billion investment by publicly traded Eli Lilly. AstraZeneca is investing $4.5 billion across 2 facilities in Albemarle County. And those 2 facilities, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be AstraZeneca's largest facilities in the entire world. In the entire world.
And Jerry, what do you always talk about all the time? What's the other stuff that's coming?
Well, it's the entire supply chain of this. It's the data science school, the Paul Manning Biotech Institute, Eli Lilly, AstraZeneca. I've literally heard from someone that is stroking checks to make biotechnology work. We'll leave it at that.
Albemarle current
7,000 to 8,000 incremental citizens tied to biotechnology.
Albemarle County dropped detached new construction 6% year over year. There's 6% less homes being built, and you're going to watch that number plummet, and it's up 15% of all the jurisdictions.
So if you own a home in Albemarle County, that's pretty good news for you.
Assuming you want to sell and move, right? So, and Flavanna, we've had this conversation a million times. The data's supporting it. It's up 50%. It's up 3% in price point, but in 6 to 9 months, this new construction is going to go back to zero. It'll be the same as Charlottesville, and when we have this show next year, it'll be the same as Charlottesville or Nelson County because there's nothing else in the pipeline. The thing that I keep on harping on with Greene County is they've got these 1,500 to 2,000 lots in the pipeline. They are coming out of the ground. They will be coming out of the ground. And all this stuff that you're talking about, and that is just where it's going to go. Now, to your point, certain price point employees are probably going to bite the bullet and pay an extra 20, 30%, or whatever that number is going to be to live in Albemarle County at that time. But at the moment, right now, I think 4 years from now, if this trend continues, I think 4 years from now, Greene County is going to eat through a lot of that 1,500 to 2,000 units by the time that this becomes active.
I 100%. You're Nostradamus here.
I'm not Nostradamus. It just happened.
The new construction that's being built in Greene will be chewed up by the time this comes online.
Yeah, yes and no, right?
How many units?
Well, so that's the tricky part. So
it's staggered.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah.
That's the hard part to map out. So I can tell you, because I'm part of it as a consultant, there's 437 units coming in Standardsville, right?
And when? Timestamp.
That's the trick. It's going through site plan right now. It's got to get built, right? Infrastructure's got to bring to it, yada, yada. That will probably hit about 2 to 3 years from now. Let's call it 2 years on the light side. By the time it goes through, infrastructure gets built, the project gets built, units start going vertical, right? So that will catch some of this. But there's projects with horizontal work already done, right? Creekside is an example, and it's got a ton of room to grow, and they're going vertical like crazy. There's another 600 lots that I know about that's about ready to get developed that's just about through the site plan process, right? And those will probably be ready in about 12 months, plus or minus, how the development process goes. So it'll be staggered in over the next 48 months, but it's coming, guys, and it's coming in a big way.
I mean, 3,000 workers is the estimate. 3,000 construction workers, ladies and gentlemen. What's that going to do to the rental market?
That's a lot of construction workers.
So many construction workers.
They'll import a lot of them.
What's 3,000 workers going to do to the rental market?
Yeah. So what'll happen is what's happening now. If you talk to folks in the industry, people coming from Richmond, people coming from the other side of the hill. I'm talking about workers.
Yeah.
Right. Tradespeople. That's where they're coming from. I had somebody working on my house today yesterday actually, from Tiger Fuel actually, and they are people. This guy was traveling from Richmond to work here. So you're going to see, that's what's going to happen. These workers are going to be traveling, and if anybody's been around the construction business, this is not an unusual thing, right? You usually travel for that type of construction, by the way, because that's all commercial stuff. To get it out of the ground and done. These are commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
These are, go ahead.
you're going to say exactly
Yeah.
what I'm going to say. These are not $12 an hour.
Yeah, these are not two Chucks in a truck.
Yeah.
These are sophisticated, nuanced, experienced, well-paid
100%.
workers that are building facilities like this.
I'm going to leave the person out of it. This person happens to be a doctor, no relations to me. I was having a conversation with them, and we were talking about the lack of skilled labor. And I was pointing to the crane operator on top of a tower, one of those crane things. I said, do you have any idea how much that guy makes? Oh, yeah, I think he said $60,000. No, he makes more money than you do. No, that's not possible. Really? You get up there and do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, they're making multiple six figures, usually unionized.
Yeah.
And, health insurance.
At this clip, they're almost always unionized.
Not always. It's a right to work state. So,
Yeah,
but in the commercial world,
Yeah.
and when you start doing things like operators and
Right.
crane operators, they're generally union.
Katie Pearl, who is the builder on the Standardsville homes, Keith? The single-family detached home builders?
Oh, Katie, I can't tell you that yet. But it's somebody everybody knows here.
Well, don't we know? Don't we? We can't mention it?
I need about another week or two.
Okay.
But it's a local builder.
Okay. Katie Pearl says, by the end of the year, I will have closed on 3 attached homes because of the affordable price point. 3 attached Creekside homes.
She's 100% right. You're running about 300.
One of my favorite Cubans, Katie Pearl.
There you go. You're running about $325,000 as average, and that's what's happening. So to get into that homeowner entry level, right, the first rung and climbing the housing ladder, townhomes seem to be the path forward. I will tell you that the project in Standardsville is mostly single-family detached, so that's going to be an interesting project when it starts going.
Kevin Yancey says the Troubadours at the Verve are earning $200+ an hour. What's a troubadour?
Oh, God.
Do you know what a troubadour is?
He's going to have to define that because it means different things to different industries, right? So reread the sentence.
He says the Troubadours at the Verve are earning $200+ an hour. Judah, 3-shot troubadour?
Well, I know what a troubadour is, but he's...
What's a troubadour?
Well, a troubadour is somebody who sings, right? But this
Well, that's not what he's talking about.
This is in reference to a construction term, and it means different things to different people.
Is that what you were going to say, Judah? All right, so Judah does not know what the troubadour is.
More or less.
No, construction, in terms of construction.
Yeah. I'm going to let that go because it can mean different things to different people. So we're going to stay neutral on this.
Kevin,
Kevin,
Neil Williamson.
you're getting me into trouble.
Well, what are you talking about there, Kevin Yancey? What are you talking about?
Keep on driving that truck, brother.
What are you talking about? Offer some more perspective. Neil Williamson watching the program.
Hey, Neil.
El Presidente of the Free Enterprise Forum.
El Presidente.
Greene County data, he says, there are several developments that have been approved from 2004 or later that have unbuilt parcels or capacity. This number is associated with rezonings in the growth area and does not include the independent parcels that are by right or individual lots unbuilt in older subdivisions. Between Creekside, Villages at Terrace Green, Wood Park, J6, Holly Hill Townhomes, Judo Drive, Benchmark Homes, Four Seasons, and Blue Ridge Meadows, there are 2,932 potential parcels and units.
Yeah.
Not all of these are actively pursuing construction plans, and it is hard to predict if some of these might be supplanted by other land within the growth area. Of the 6,992 acres in the growth area, approximately 53%, 3,706 acres, are designated as traditional suburban residential, and another 23%, 1,608 acres, allows for residential as part of a mixed-use development. He shares the link on the I Love CVille group, Facebook page from the Free Enterprise Forum analysis. You can also find it online.
I didn't use his top end number because of the very reason he outlined. I just know that there's literally 1,500.
Well, you're consulting on this.
in the site plan pipeline right now that are either in some phase of construction or some phase of approval. But
Neil Williamson also says government controls so much of the development. The one thing they do not control is timing.
and the market.
And the market. I will say this, for folks that live in Greene County, Neil lives in Greene County. For folks that live in Greene County or around Greene County, what's going to happen to you in the next 5 to 10 years is very similar to what happened to Crozet. So if you disagree, I'm shocked that you disagree. Greene County in 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028 is to what Crozet was when Old Trail was being built. Mark it down. And Kevin Yancey says the Troubadour is the elevated crane operator.
Yeah. Okay, got it. In some trades, it's something else. So thank you for doing it. Yeah.
Logan Wells, Claylow, hello. You don't think Greene County is about to be Crozet?
Well,
it's on the cusp of being Crozet?
I want to pick that apart a little
Please.
bit. I want to know why you think that.
Crozet at one time, when I've been here 25 years, Crozet was a sleepy
100%.
country afterthought
100%.
that had charm and blue collar appeal.
Vineyards came in.
Everyone knew your name.
Yeah, vineyards came in.
No, the development was in a large part tied to the school systems.
So that's where I think that's where the difference is.
What, you don't think Greene County is going to up its school game?
No. No. It may up its school game, but its residents, its amount of kids that are going into the school system are going to actually decrease. It's year over year, it's down, and I need Neil to double check this. According to the Central Virginia Times, it's down 1.3%.
You're talking Greene County public school enrollment?
Correct, yeah. So
well, public school enrollment across the board is predicted to go down.
100%.
And it's predicted to go down, according to Weldon Cooper, because the area is becoming boomerish,
100%.
retirees,
Yep.
and it's becoming extremely wealthy with the families that are choosing to live here, who are then populating private schools with enrollment with their kids.
And you're seeing this as a national trend, by the way. That's not just...
Good night. Look at what happened at the Albemarle County
So,
Public School Board meeting last night. The school board, holy Jesus.
Yeah. According
That's not a real talk with Keith Smith topic, but
yeah. Well, you know what?
Utter chaos.
You know what? Yes, and it was great to see people come out and speak their mind. So it's a beautiful thing. I've defended my country so people can do that. So good for them. Regardless of the side of the fence that you're on, the fact that you can get up and speak your mind at a civic event or a public event or at a board meeting is a beautiful thing. So Katie, just curious
one of my favorite Cubans
of
KTP.
the townhomes
Cubana.
you sold over out there. How many of them had school-aged kids?
How many of the townhomes that you sold KTP at Creekside had school-aged kids? Can you put that in the feed, KTP?
Because statistically, townhomes don't add more kids to the... Generally, it's, hey, I'm getting my foot in the door, trying to get on the first rung, right?
Yeah.
The 80-some-odd% of buyers always want a single-family detached. The old, white picket fence is a real thing, right? And then when they start having children, as we're having children later, right? It's an interesting development, right? Because you're going to have a bunch of people coming in. There will be increase in services, but I think you're going to see the school enrollment still continue to take off. And that's the difference. People move to Western Albemarle to send their kids to that school. That is a huge driver of that.
People also moved to Western Albemarle because that's where affordability was at one time for Albemarle County.
100%.
It's not the case anymore.
That went away years ago.
Yeah, now you're looking at $900K plus to get into Western Albemarle. But at one time, what Crozet was affordable.
20 some odd years ago.
I wouldn't even say 20 some years. I've been here 25 years ago.
That
15, 20 years ago.
Okay, I'll give you 15.
Yeah.
But
now that's not the case. That's what's going to happen to Greene County, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that I don't disagree. So, but
Neil Williamson.
I want to.
He knows Greene County intimately.
I want to push back a little bit because we had a 2% decline in price in new construction. Now, that's a hard number to quantify right now. We're going to know a lot more this time next year because you had a 356% increase in sales. So it's a little bit hard to compare median price ranges. We went from 16 to 73, single family detached. But when we look at this number next year, if that new construction price is stabilizing, right, it's only like a 2 or 3 or 4% year over year climb. That's a good thing. That's a stabilization of the market out there. It's not a 15% year over year climb, which, by the way, Albemarle County is going to continue to do on the new construction thing. To your point, right? All these high dollar jobs, that's where they're going to go, because they're going to send their kids to the public private school called Western Albemarle, right? And it's going to put a lot of pressure on the private schools, I'm sure. But that's where you're going to see it, guys. It's going to be in Greene County, and the data's telling us this.
Comments are coming in quickly.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get to these. Logan Wells Claylow, thank you for
Louisa,
watching the
Louisa
program.
County, while you're doing that, dropped 5% in value year over year.
Teresa Johnson, hello. Dropped 5% in value, Louisa County?
Yes, new construction.
New construction.
Right. Detached units dropped 5% year over year. This is the same time period, by the way, from January 1 to today, or yesterday when I did the data. Price dropped from 449 to 425, lost 5%. The attached units gained a little bit, 1%. So back to the point, but they're more expensive. They're 500. The attached new construction Louisa is $500,000 plus or minus. The detached are around 425 plus or minus. A little caveat here: these detaches are really duplexes, right? And they're single level living. The buyer profile out there is me, right? It's the retiree, and it's generally, most of it is at Lake. You can do it, Smith. Spring Creek.
Spring Creek.
Most of it.
I'm extremely bullish on Spring Creek.
Spring Creek's going to stabilize.
Spring Creek's still got a lot of lots left.
It's got a lot of lots left. Spring Creek, the new construction.
How many lots in there left? 600?
It depends on who you talk to.
500 or 600?
We talked about this last week, right? They have enough land to do another 600, but they do these in blocks. The reality of it is, so if you're looking to buy new construction, right, and you only want to stay in this home for a couple of years, right, you're eventually going to be competing against new construction, and that's what's happening in Spring Creek. The existing units, and there's so much uniformity within the project, within Spring Creek, that things don't look that different, right? They don't have that many different features. If something was built 4 years ago and they're building it now, it's pretty much the same home, single-family detached home. There's a little differences to it. So why would you buy something that's 3 years old when you can buy something for either the same price that's brand new? But the rule of thumb is if you're buying into a large new construction project, you better have some runway to stay there, to wait till it gets built out. Then you're competing against other people. But when you're competing against new construction, that's a hard thing to win, particularly when they have the incentives, they have buy downs, they have all this kind of great stuff that builders are throwing on the table that you just can't compete as an existing home sale.
William says townhome owners outgrow their domiciles with the addition of children. With his family, child number 2 moved him out of Stonehenge and into a single-family detached home in 1987.
I have a half a dozen clients that bought new construction in the Crozet area that are working on baby number. Well, maybe they've already worked on it. They have baby number 2 on the way, and we're trying to find something in the Crozet area that's new construction that doesn't have a 9 in front of it.
Good luck. Where are you going to find that?
You're not.
Yeah.
So we're seriously looking at Greene County.
Well, Greene County, you can do that for.
Problem is, they all work like downtown Charlottesville, and
That's a hell of a commute. I would not want to make that commute. I would not want to commute Greene to downtown
so
Charlottesville.
as the crow flies, it's about the same, but it's a very different drive.
Yeah, 29.
Very different drive.
I mean,
Very different drive.
Another commute that is effing brutal is Crozet Old Trail to UVA, downtown Charlottesville.
Well, it is and it isn't. It depends on how the traffic is. If there's not an accident.
With this bridge issue, dude, with the Ivy bridge issue,
Yeah,
with the
sure.
truck hit it,
Yeah.
250 has been darn near close to standstill.
Yeah, and so when, it seems on a regular basis there's accidents on 64. And, if you can catch 60.
That's my whole issue with like this development here. Like you take what I understand that Crozet's designated growth area. This is where the development was supposed to happen. There's 2 entrances to Crozet.
So
There's 2 ways to get to Crozet.
So I'm just going to say this. You're not going to see any more development in Crozet. You're not going to see it. And you're not going to see it because of that reason. You're not going to see it.
There's just no more appetite to do it.
The developer community, it's just too complicated.
Yeah.
And what do? They go where they're wanted. They go where the low hanging fruit is.
How much more development are you going to see in green once these that are in the?
Well, Neil just outlined it. What you see going on right there, it'll be very hard. I mean, 2,000, assuming they all get built, anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 units is a lot. That's half of Lake Monticello, just to put it into perspective. Lake Monticello is 4,500. It's not quite half. Half would be over 2,000 units. But that's about 50% the size of Lake Monticello. Just to put it into perspective, let's pick the number of 2,000 that we hit in the next 4 years, assuming everything comes online and the world doesn't blow up, right? And everything is moving the way I think it's going to move. You're going to see that in the next 4 years. And then after that, I think you're going to see things slow down out there. Fulvana's done. We'll finish Colonial Circle. The numbers right now are looking stellar, right? You got a 3% increase. You got a 50% increase in sales, right? You went from 0 attached to 27 attached year over year. But in 6 to 9 months, it'll just end, if not sooner than that. They are selling like hotcakes out in that because they're hitting their numbers right.
Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Put them in the feed. We'll relay them live on air. Highlight some of the folks watching the program. Rob
Coffee's
Neal.
kicking in.
Conan Owen, coffee is kicking in. You're doing a great job. Great job. I believe Supervisor Pruitt is watching the program.
Yeah.
He's welcome to come on the program anytime.
You're welcome anytime. I'd love to have this
Jason
conversation
Howard,
with you.
Ray Cadell, Johnny
Without
Ronaldo.
my chairmanship hat on.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, you always were very good at navigating that.
I try to do the best I can.
And Supervisor Pruitt is running for
Senate.
Congress,
excuse me.
5th District.
Yeah.
5th District. It is a competitive race.
Yep.
We do reach a lot of people. Ryan Hughes, hello. Welcome to the broadcast.
Albemarle County, if it wants to see more rooftops.
Albemarle County doesn't want to see more rooftops. Albemarle County does not want to see more rooftops.
If it wants, I use the word if it wants to see that, then it needs to start retooling its systems. And
Albemarle County needs to build a high school in the northern feeder pattern.
Well, I don't know. You have to take a...
Albemarle High School is incredibly overpopulated.
I didn't do the...
Western is overpopulated.
I didn't do the student count for Albemarle County. I did it for Greene because that's where I'm projecting the growth to be. I don't know how the student population is going in Albemarle County. Is it growing? Is it
Albemarle
decreasing?
High School in particular is bursting at the seams.
We're talking We're talking about Weston.
I'm talking Albemarle High School on Rio Road.
Got it. Yeah.
Bursting at the seams.
Yep.
Cannot accommodate any more people.
Yeah.
And until they build I don't know how much you use, $300, $400 million high school north of town, they should not approve any additional development.
Well, so the good thing is they won't.
It's not fair to the children.
So it doesn't matter because they're not coming.
Right.
So
there's just no appetite for it.
So the market is going to go ahead and get that done. It is just not going to come. And as an affordable housing advocate or housing affordability advocate, that's the problem, right? All these. Well, I'm hoping that Greene County's price is somewhat stabilized, so housing affordability can go there. But if we don't increase the amount of homes to buy, housing for all, or more homes, I think make a difference. You can just take a look at it. What's doing in Greene County as far as stabilizing the prices are concerned, it's just going to keep on going.
It's going to keep it. Well, look at what the out-of-market developers like Subtex and Greystar are doing.
Yeah.
They're doing build to rent,
Yeah.
not build to own.
Yeah.
And they're no dummies. They're doing the build-to-rent
See, always-
model. Why are they doing the build-to-rent
You
model?
just follow the money.
Following the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't take that much of a rocket
pretty
science
obvious.
to
Yeah.
figure that one out. So you're trying to see all that, and that's an interesting model when you start seeing the street doing that.
But the
right?
build-to-rent model does not create housing affordability.
It does not,
If anything, it does the opposite.
and it doesn't generate generational wealth. Most Americans generate their wealth
Through
from
their home ownership. Neil Williamson's going to push back. Neil Williamson and I agree on so many things. We disagree on this one, obviously. And I love Neil Williamson. And word on the street, we may see Neil Williamson in spandex soon.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to see him soon, but we're going to see Captain America soon.
Excuse me, Captain America.
I don't know this Neil Williamson guy, but I know
Captain America is an imposing figure. And Captain America is coming
Imposing.
to Real Talk with Keith Smith.
Yeah, we're going to have a great show for Halloween. There's
Captain America says more housing everywhere for everyone.
Yeah.
And Captain America says that here's the reality. Economic development brings jobs. Jobs need to be filled by employees. Employees need a place to live. I understand completely. I totally get it, Neil. The employees that need a place to live, these 600 scientists that are going to be making six figures, and some of them deep six figures, some of them millions, okay? The folks that are at AstraZeneca, the folks that are at Eli Lilly, the folks that are at the Biotech Institute, the data science school, this population uptick of 8,000 people, they need a place to live. I get that. Kids also deserve to learn in classrooms and not trailers.
Yeah,
Kids,
I agree. 100%.
kids deserve student-teacher ratios that are not 25, 26 to 1, 27 to 1.
Did I ever tell you the story about what happened to me in high school? Do you know what my student ratio was? What it went to?
35 to 1?
Try about 60 to 1.
That's insane.
And that was during,
And how did high school go?
didn't show up the last 2 years of high school. I worked. Got a diploma, though, which is a scary thought. I told you how I graduated high school, right?
I think you have. Tell it again. Tell the story again.
Yeah.
Was the diploma mailed to you?
Pardon?
Was it mailed to you?
No, I never told you the story.
I think. Go. Tell me how it was.
So I worked in a florist my last 2 years of high school. And why do you work at a florist when you're a young man?
Because you want to meet girls.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I got free flowers, and it worked out good. So back in the day, so this was during the austerity budgets, right? This is the end of the 70s, right? Nobody had any money. This is when Ford told New York City to go F themselves in the bailout, right? This was real financial problems back in those days. So the student ratio went from like 30 to 1 to 60 to 1, some more than that. And the way they used to give out diplomas back in those days, get funding from the state, was the diplomas that went out the door. So you didn't have the whole kind of testing system and everything that you have now. And I had an English teacher. Have I told you the story?
You have. I think you have told us.
An English teacher.
I like your stories.
Thank you. This English teacher, right out of college, actually had morals and wasn't going to sign off on the paperwork so I can get my diploma unless I wrote a report on Chaucer. So I had no idea who the hell that was, right? So I showed up when I was supposed to do the report with 24 yellow roses, and she looked at me, signed the thing, and she said, "Get the hell out of here, kid. You're going to do great." And that was it. I graduated high school by 24 yellow roses, which, by the way, I didn't have to pay for, which made it a really good deal.
That's some of the same strategies being utilized at Albemarle County Public Schools. But
Done. Oh,
sorry, that was the same.
Does 2,000
unnecessary thing.
yellow roses will make a difference?
Johnny Pritzloff watching the program.
Hey,
He says, if we need more housing, we should not be mad about what kind of housing. That's like being mad about someone painting a fence with a brush and paint can rather than spray paint. Same end goal, same painted fence.
Ooh.
So he's pushing back on the
Well done,
the
sir.
gray stars and the subtext, doing the rent. Doing the
Well done,
build
sir.
to rent model as opposed to build to own model.
I predict.
I don't think there should be any of it.
Well, first of all, you're not going to see it here, because in order for them to do that, these are volume, and if you take a hard look at that data, they're going to the places that are suffering. This is your Phoenix, right? Some places in Florida, they're going in with tons of street money and buying existing stuff and going ahead and do this. I predict that's probably going to go the way of the Zillow. What the hell what did Zillow iBuy, right? Remember that iBuy thing that turned into a huge disaster in it? So, people want to own homes, and people want to own single-family detached homes, and people want to build their, generational wealth and across the board.
He says he agrees with you that it's bad for home ownership, that he agrees that the build-to-rent model, Johnny, is bad for affordability and wealth growth, but it is good for housing accessibility.
Yeah, I hear you, Johnny.
Then I'm having a text exchange with a real estate broker. Johnny's commercial broker, another broker's texting.
And I can speak from this, from a housing affordability advocate and as the current chair of the Piedmont Community Land Trust. Man, we've done 50 units, over almost 60 units. We're approaching 60 units. And by the way, I'm going to stop here for a second and give a shout out to the Carr Foundation. Everybody who watches the show, I know I've been a little bit hard on associations in my industry. I'm going to give a shout out to Carr Foundation and a shout out to my industry. They stepped up in a big way and wrote a super, super huge check, or committed yesterday to a super huge check to help 8 families actually buy in Albemarle County over Victorian Heights, which...
This is the nonprofit?
This is the nonprofit. They raised at their event a substantial amount of money, and I don't want to take too much air out of their success because they're going to do it on their own. But I personally, as the chair, want to say thank you, and it's going to make a huge difference. It's going to free up a ton of money that we raise for subsidy. And along those lines, and just to fill into Johnny's thing, when I first started the land trust back in 17 and 18, it was about $30,000 to $60,000 worth of subsidy that was needed to make the difference to meet the 80% AMI buyer. And that at that time, the 80% buyer could afford somewhere around a $215,000 to $225,000 house. $100,000. Now that number's approaching $150,000. And oh, by the way, the 80% buyer really can't afford that much more house. They're in the $250,000 to $275,000 range. That's what the 85 to be able to qualify and buy. That's the maximum sales price. So that delta didn't really go that far. But man, we now need to come with considerable over 6 figures to make this happen. Johnny, I get it. This is a good way to get your foot in the door and get going. The devil's in the details. I can tell you these companies got their heinies covered every which way but Sunday. And it sounds good on the surface, but I'm not so sure at the long term it's in the best interest of building long-term appreciation and equity.
Neil Williamson to Keith Smith. Neil Williamson to the viewers and listeners, and Neil Williamson to Johnny Pritzloff. He's leaving a comment. I'm literally reading these comments, hosting the show with you while negotiating an office deal right now. Neil, I have no problem doing it. I can do it.
It must be tough.
It's literally doing this right now. Neil Williamson says,
Jerry, it's got to be tough.
The build to rent.
Us poor folks, I just drink coffee and talk. That's all I do.
So dramatic. You're so full of the doo-doo.
Oh, dude.
Can I read Neil's
No.
comment?
I got to get this out before I forget it. You know what both my daughters called me yesterday?
What?
She goes, "You're so dramatic."
You're so dramatic. And you just laughed, right?
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong. Neil Williamson says to Johnny, to Keith, and to the viewers and listeners, the build-to-rent model is being constructed and leased now just over the Albemarle County line in Greene County.
Oh, really?
I want everyone that's a Greene County
I'd like to know where that is.
Everyone that's a Greene County to realize that your future is what Crozet looks like right now. That is your future.
That's a big statement to make. I think there is a huge difference.
I got a track record of making pretty accurate predictions.
Yeah, well, I get it. That's a hard thing to quantify, right? Crozet has a neat little downtown.
Greene County can do that. And Crozet doesn't have that neat downtown. So where it wants to be, it wants to have a better downtown.
So where I think you're right is in Standardsville. Because
Yeah.
Standardsville has a great little town. It's about ready to get 437 single-family detached homes here in the near future.
If that lumber mill turns into...
It's going to drive a ton.
And Crozet could be a pedestrian downtown.
One of my great little towns is the town of Standardsville. Marybelle's, if you ever go to that.
It's very charming.
I'm going to be there tomorrow morning with a bunch of crazy people to do a 100-kilometer bike ride that supports the Greene County Food Pantry. So my sorry little butt will be wandering through this beautiful... I mean, every time I do this ride, there's a very good reason Greene County is called Greene.
The Villages at Terrace Green. Green with an E at the end with Greene County. Neil shared the link. The Villages at terracegreen.com. Green with an E at the end of Green. The Villages at terracegreen.com is the rent,
Thanks, Neil.
the rental model that he's highlighting
I
here.
need to look that up. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Got to dig into that a little bit more. I was not aware of that, so thanks for the...
Greene County is to today what Crozet was 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. So how could you not disagree? How could I disagree with that? Right.
Think about the entryways to
But
Greene
it's-
County. If somebody was driving to the epicenter of employment, Charlottesville, to work at UVA from Greene, what is the only way that they can get to and from?
No, it's 29.
It's 29.
Well, there's a couple other.
Crozet. The only way to get to and from Crozet, at least Crozet has two entry points, the
Which would be-
interstate and the bypass.
That's exactly right.
Greene has one.
It has one. Yeah.
Wait until there's some kind of terrible accident or logjam on 29.
Well, that's-
when you have thousands. How many houses did you said?
Well, depends on which number you want to use. I know there's 1,500 in the pipeline,
1,500
but
homes.
if that number could grow to over 2,000.
Okay. I'm getting a lot of text messages.
Terrace Green.
Yeah.
Got it. I got to look up Terrace Green. I'm not too familiar with that project.
Oh, I'm not. So should I mention this? I'm not going to.
I don't know what's in.
I'm not going to mention that. Okay. He said I didn't get it from me. Okay. And good work on that negotiation over there, whoever sent that text to me. It's just a lot of moving parts going on right now. A lot of
It's
moving
amazing.
parts
I
going
put
on.
that together. So if I put that together, other people.
No one else put that together. I can assure you, no one else put that together.
Anyway, so we're look. Yes, Greene County, Standardsville, Ruckersville area is going to grow, hands down. It's on its way. One of the problems I've always had with one of the board of supervisors from Greene County.
Which one?
Well, I won't call out a name, but
Okay.
this particular individual, I remember very clearly because I attended the meeting in person, actually, said that the maximum amount of new construction this would ever be built in Greene County was in the 40s. Well, we are now at 73 for this year, and that's up until, let's say, the first 9 months of that. And I suspect by the end of this year, that number will be three figures. It'll be over 100. And you're going to see probably next year somewhere in the 250 to 225 range. If they could build them fast, I bet you they would. But at the moment, that's probably what you're going to see. So, whoever was on the Board of Supervisors at Greene County that thought new construction wasn't coming was way wrong. You just got to look at what's in the pipeline.
No.
These people are not spending this kind of money not to build. And it's coming.
It's coming. Crozet for Greene County.
Yeah.
Correct.
I can't disagree with that, but it's going to be different than Crozet, right? Because it's a different dynamic, it's a different layout for it. But yeah, it's going to grow. It's no different than Lake Monticello, right? I came to Lake Monticello in '87.
And how many houses?
There's 600 houses.
And now there's,
By the way, at the time-
4,300?
But 43, 44, depending on how you count it. By the way, when I came in '87, out of 600, 3 of them were for sale. 300 were for sale in '87.
And now?
Oh, I haven't looked at it.
50?
I don't think it's into 50 range. I haven't looked at it this morning, to be honest with you.
50. You don't think there's 50?
It's between 30 to 50 for sure. It's moving around.
Yeah.
And it's always been, even if it's at 50, it's just a shy over 1%,
Yeah.
right? So that's not a huge.
No, that's not concerning.
That's not a huge number.
No, the market's moving. No, you know where you can find a deal right now? City of Charlottesville.
Yeah.
City of Charlottesville. If you're looking
have
to find a deal.
You have to define a deal, right? Because the number's going to be up there, but prices are dropping, and I haven't looked at
Prices are dropping, and sellers are motivated.
Yeah. That's a whole different show, and I'm excited. Let me see. I'm excited for like the first week of January, that when we take a look at the full year-over-year end of it, I think you're going to see a substantial drop in Charlottesville.
What do you?
We're already there.
They were there.
Well,
yeah.
it ticked up a little bit. It got a little bit better. September versus August. October's generally a pretty good sales month historically. So I'm interested to see how the end of October is going to look, and see if that, because it's like a fraction of a percentage point better, right? But we're still dangerously close to 6% year-over-year decline in value. And we talked about this the other day. If that keeps on going and doubles in the next couple of years, let's assume that trend continues, you're going to see people showing up singing a very different tune at the city council meetings. Very different.
And you know who's been singing that tune for 24 months, right?
Yep. I know. We shall see, though. The trend is going, though. You can go ahead and say it. You can go ahead and say it.
I was hoping you were going to say it.
I wasn't going to give you that pleasure.
Such a dick.
Nice try, pal.
It's such a dick.
Nice try. I mean, that was like the biggest softball thrown. And if you thought I was going to swing at that, you are way wrong.
I love it.
Go ahead and say it.
No,
Go ahead and say it.
I mean, people that watch the I Love CVille show know we've been singing that.
Go ahead and say it. Well, the data's supporting it. So there you go.
We've been singing it.
The data's supporting it, and I think you're going to see the city continue to decline.
And I'm having a fantastic text exchange here. What I'm going to say is based on no.
Tell another story. I'll tell another story. I can tell a story. It'll take me about 10 minutes.
We cannot in Charlottesville. This is Charlottesville. The city, specifically the city, and it's spilling into Albemarle County. But we cannot.
Well, Albemarle County's growing.
We cannot continue to lead strictly through a lens of progressiveness in the city like we've been doing for some time. Because that leadership, that progressive leadership, has got all our budgetary valves, sales tax, meals tax, lodging tax, tourism, foot traffic, home values, commercial values, all downward over the last 24 to 36 months. And that's because we're leading with a progressive mindset, a mindset of equity, a mindset of inclusivity. And we can have those mindsets, but we have to lead with a mindset of doing what's physically important and responsible for the city first as a whole. You can't keep doing what we're doing and expect these KPIs to turn around. And I think council's finally realizing that.
So
the next tough decision that they're going to have to make is, after this $6.2 million homeless shelter off the bypass on 2000 Holiday Drive, after a clear study period and it's greenlit and approved, the next thing council...
that's going to happen.
100% is going to happen. The next thing that's going to have to happen is council is going to have to vote yes to a no homeless camping on the downtown mall and in the business district. And they're going to then have to say, use this shelter off the bypass as your home of camping or sheltering instead. That's going to be a tough decision. And I'm not sure council. We're really going to see council and whether they have the cojones and the vision to make this happen. Because until they do that, go ahead.
So one of the great things about doing the show for this long,
it's the 50. It is the 50-year anniversary of the mall. I've been highlighting that next year.
I've gotten better at listening. So what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
There you go. And
you're starting to see a turn. $1.2 million allocated to this clean team from Louisville to serve as ambassadors downtown. You're starting to see a turn. This $6.2 million approval plus millions more to upfit
Did you see the
and
private
uplift.
security out there too?
Yeah, you're starting to see a turn.
I had a conversation with those guys the other day. I was wandering around and said thank you and yada yada. I always stop and talk to them and stuff like that. And it was a small world. Ended up talking to a guy that's a Marine and was actually in the same embassies I was in when I was in, but just in different years, right? In much later years than I was in. It was pretty interesting. So insanity, right? I'm trying to boil this down because it's at 11:25. Insanity, right? You answered the definition, and I'm going to twist it around a little bit, and I'm going to try to say this without patting my own back on it, right? But when I got involved with the Land Trust, which is a nonprofit, oh, that's my phone, I'm sorry. The nonprofit, we only had like 8 or 9 homes. And we are now approaching 60.
That's good.
Do you know why? You know how I changed the dynamic of managing the Land Trust? I ran it more like a business.
Yeah.
And then
Do what you do well.
and then put the right people in the room, which is difficult for me. The next step is shut the F up, which is very hard for me to do, and let people that are really smart at it and put the right 4 pillars in the room
Do their thing.
make the magic happen. Yeah. And it happens. It took a lot of hard work, but we are approaching 60 permanent. And by the way, little news, Neil, we got one coming up in Greene County here real shortly, right in the Ruckersville area, which we're excited. It's an existing home, by the way. It's not new construction, so we're excited about that. We're buying an existing home at market, doing a little bit of work to it, and turning it loose at discounted affordable housing rate. So we're excited about that. Thank you to CAR, because we wouldn't be able to do that without them.
Keith Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Keith Smith.
11:27.
Oh, great show.
What
Easy
are you doing
peasy.
this weekend?
Sunday breezy.
I know what I'm doing.
I'm
breathing
playing-
heavy in Greene County.
I'm playing some padel. I'm playing some squash. I'm hanging out with my family. We have fall festivals. My wife is big into fall festivals in October. Might be going to this arts and crafts festival in Crozet. Interestingly,
So that's kind of the flip side of it, right? Because back 15 years ago, you didn't have a lot of these fairs in Crozet.
there's
So
a lot of stuff.
There's some neat stuff that happened, right? You wouldn't be having the vineyards there and all that stuff, and it brings challenges with them, but there's
Yeah.
also good stuff too. So, right, you know, help me out, the brewery.
Pro Renata.
Pro Renata, thank
John
you.
Shabe, crushing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Love John Shabe.
Right, doing some wonderful things.
John, I hope you hear that, John Shabe.
Great,
love John
great
Shabe. He knows
stuff,
I
great
love him.
venue, right? It's needed. So, you know, there isn't all just one-sided. There is some huge positive side to it. So hopefully there's a little bit of balance.
Keith Smith. Real talk with Keith Smith.
I'll be in Greene County, Neil. Wave at me as I go past your house.
Online at realtalkwithkeithsmith.com. Click the partners tabs and you will see the best of the best, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be the old guy breathing heavy.
Judah Wickower behind the camera. You're not old. Proud to call him a friend, Keith Smith.
I tell you, the team I'm riding with on that, I'm 30 years older than everybody else.
And you keep up with it. I Love CVille show at 12:30.
Hey, look at that. You got to do a 12:30
Thank you
show.
kindly for joining us.
Hey, Jerry. Thanks, man.
Same to
Good
you. Great show.
weekend. You're awesome.